Looking for that last minute stocking stuffer or group gift for Christmas? I got you covered. Hey everybody, it's Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts. Just wanted to hop on real quick. I have the cutest, fastest idea for little stocking stuffers, or if you're gifting to a group, you need teacher gifts, anything like that. These are super fast, super inexpensive, and really actually very cute. So let's get started. I'm trying to make sure that I am actually live right now. So I can see comments if you all are watching me. Okay, there we go. It looks like, yep, I am live on YouTube. It's always so good when you're live when you're supposed to be, or where you're supposed to be. Okay, so we are going to switch my camera view so you can see, and I'm going to show you the finished product. I made a couple of these yesterday. Now, y'all know I have a thing for notebooks. I've done a couple of different YouTube videos on making notebooks with the chalk couture hardcover notebooks, notebooks with the soft cover, ones that I get from Amazon, and those are normal full size. This is one I made for myself. So, this size notebook. But I actually needed something small and cute to use as a giveaway in a handmade show on Whatnot. And I got a one of these as a giveaway. They were already pre-printed, and I was like, oh, I bet I can find these that don't have anything on them, and then I can decorate them. And lo and behold, of course I found them. They come 60 to a box for $25, so like less than 50 cents per notebook. They are lined, which I really like. And the really nice thing is that these covered are coated, which means to use my chalk couture transfers on them, I do not have to use the surface wax. So these are 4 that I made yesterday, and I have 3 more that I gave as giveaways during the show. And so we're going to make a few more, and I'm going to show you some different options. You're probably going to get bored with this because it's going to take me all of 2 seconds to show you how to do this. But I'm going to do a bunch of them because I think they're super cute. So you've got seasonal options. The chalk couture minis fit on there. I was trying to find my Peanuts minis, and I couldn't find my open package, and I didn't want to cut open another package. But if you have the Peanuts minis, and you've got a Peanuts stand, this would look really cute. And you could take some acrylic paint markers and paint in like the Peanuts characters. And so I have some of my other chalk minis here. And some of these are great. Like I have some of my sarcastic ones, some of my more motivational, inspirational ones. I've just up here my transfer scissors. So we've got this, I want pizza, not your opinion. I'm not extra, you're just basic. And then, shine bright, salty vibes. And then the other thing I thought would be really cute is just putting letters on them to kind of personalize them. And then I've got some other little, Christmas holiday words. So we're going to do some of that too. So we're going to, I don't know why I didn't get my shimmer shadow out. So let's grab that, and let's grab my popper real quick. These are some of the colors that I used yesterday. That worked really well. So we're going to start with this one. And, you could use a background transfer, like a pattern on this. And if you had one, so like that ho, ho, ho pattern, you could lay that on top multiple ones of these and just do a whole bunch all at once. And again, these are coated, so you do not have to wax them. this is all about, this is my 18-year-old niece 10 times over. So let me do this real quick and throw this in the package that's going in the mail next week of Christmas presents that I am shipping home. Take this. Okay. Shimmer shadow paste here. You could use ink on these, so if you have a color, if you're a textile person and all you have is ink, or if you have a color in ink that you don't have in paste that you would want to use, you can use ink on these. Know that they're going to feel tacky for a little bit. You wouldn't need to heat set or anything, but that paste until it completely dries and cures feels a little tacky to the touch, but that will eventually go away. And I mean by eventually, I don't mean like months, a couple of days. Pull this up real slow. Okay. And I did not bring any water down here with me, so I'm just going to drop that back on the backer sheet. And that'll be fine until I get it upstairs to wash it. So there's that one. And let's do this, Shine Bright. Get a little inspirational vibe in there. Doesn't always have to be snarky and sassy, even though that is my, I won't say permanent vibe, not a permanent vibe, but it is my vibe a lot. I speak fluent sarcasm. This is Pucker, which I think we have available in ink, not in paste. So again, if you want a shimmery yellow, you could use that Pucker ink on here. Not a problem. There's that one. And we'll do a couple of these. Do a little personalized one for my nephew. And put a little, this is called Home, but it's as close to a Kentucky blue as we've got, I think. So I appreciate that. Put a little Kentucky blue on there. And this will be good for him to keep in his car or in his backpack or back pocket. He does like to journal, so this would be a nice little portable mini journal for him. I thought my son would use it. I'd make one for him and stick it in his stocking. And almost any of our fonts would fit on these. And if you have some of the smaller fonts, you could spell out somebody's name. And you could absolutely use vinyl on these. So, bust out your Cricut or your Cameo and your permanent vinyl. And, possibilities are endless with something like that. So here's the 3. So far. And I think drop those in for all of the kiddos. I'll make one for my sister too. And then I wanted to see, just from a size perspective, because there is a little bit larger size of these notebooks, more like 3.5 by 5. So if you wanted something a little bit bigger, if there was a design you wanted that wouldn't fit on one of these smaller ones. So I'll link to that in the video description. I was curious from this is Holiday Words. This is a couple of years old now. Which ones of these would fit? Because like, I don't think Christmas is going to fit. So you couldn't necessarily do Have a Merry Christmas. But I do think, this would look cute. I put in we have a Chalk After Dark Facebook group where we can, as designers, we can drop ideas or suggestions for After Dark transfers. And I dropped into the group the other day, we need After Dark minis. Because these notebooks got me thinking about that. Oh, you know what would look really cute? And you could do this with vinyl. Because we don't have the words here. But we've got have and then cheer. And you could take some vinyl and make a cup of, or even make a little cup and put it on there. That would be really cute for Have a Cup of Cheer. What I am thinking about here is, and then I think Merry and Bright would fit. So you've got Merry, Bright, and you've got the little @ sign there. And I honestly think that a stencil with ink would work on these. I haven't tested that out because of the coating. It's not so coated that I think ink would come off. I would use Distress, not Distress Oxide, or just archival ink. So you might have to play around with those. I might have to bust some stencils out later and try that too. And this one we can do peace. @ sign. And well, really should have left these on the backer sheets to space these out because I'm going to have to move these around, I think. And Joy, so we're going to have to move this up a little bit. That there, and let's go ahead and that's crooked. Oh yeah, that's crooked. Y'all know I normally don't care, but that's bad. There we go. That's better. Okay. And down here, come off the edge with the transfer a little bit, just to okay, that piece is still really crooked. Goodness. Also, the reason to use just one transfer. That's okay. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it because that's going to be cute. There we go. Nope. Goodness. Oh, y'all. This is just bad. Okay. I'm going to have to hold it where I can see it. I apologize. Come on. There we go. Okay. Piece is straight. Joy is crooked. I think Joy looks crooked because Love is crooked. And I don't have my detail tool out to use my little edge there to help me lift up these corners. Nope. Still crooked. Okay, let's do it this way and see if that helps. I can see a little better there. It's also hard because my cut line isn't straight. And so sometimes that makes, like, it makes the transfer crooked even though your words are straight, if that makes sense. Okay, that looks good enough, I think. And that's spaced out pretty well. In there. Good enough. It's fine. Okay, and so now we can get multiple colors on this one too. So we're going to do some shimmer frost for Peace. And shimmer crimson for the first. Probably, I'm banking on the fact that this is coated. To not give me any problems peeling these up, leaving them sit on there until I'm finished. I probably shouldn't do that. So let's go ahead. So the danger in leaving your transfer sit for too long on a surface with your paste or ink on it is that as it dries, it's going to stick. And with paper, that is particularly true. Now, this isn't technically paper. It's also not like a wood surface either. And so I'm not going to take any chances. As I've, told you all, you don't have to use surface wax for this, and then I end up messing it all up. I was actually thinking earlier about whether or not you could decoupage on these. And I think you probably could. I think the edges would be the hardest part. I would be worried that with use, because you want this to be functional, those edges would start to come up. I'm actually going to use my multi-tool for this little guy here. We'll pucker again for our @ sign. And then we're going to use some gravity on a little bit of metallic green in there. And this one will be finished, and then I think we're done, because I think y'all got the gist. You probably got the gist after the very first one, so that's okay. Oh, and there we are. A little peace, love, and joy. So a little seasonal one that's not, overwhelmingly seasonal. And you could, do that up in whatever colors you wanted, to take a little bit of the seasonality out of it. Like I said, I also think just, an initial on it is super cute for, a kind of personalization. All right, so that's it. Super quick project today. Got inspired with these yesterday, so wanted to bring those to you all. I will drop the links to these notebooks as well as the larger ones in the video description, as well as the chalk ones and other Amazon ones that I use to make the bigger, 4x6 and 5x7 notebooks, and then links to the videos that I have where I've used those. I am also going to, for anybody who's watched it, I'm going to pull this out real quick. I did a video last week on how to make, these little coffee themed gift tags, and I had a little problem with cutting the topper the way I wanted, and I figured out what was wrong and how to fix it. So I'm going to kind of do an addendum to that video to show you all how to do that right, so it doesn't give you fits. All right, everybody, happy Saturday. I will be back next week with another video, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.